Some of you have been asking for more fun and fruity cocktails in this series of videos, more kind of disco cocktails if you like. So what could be better than starting with one of the most simplest but cheapest cocktails to make? Woo woo! While the woo woo is just simply vodka, Archer's peach liqueur, cranberry juice and a touch of lime, it does make it kind of a blank canvas for the old STB treatment. So in less than 10 minutes time, hopefully, you'll have 10 easy, quick, cheap and fun variations you can make up at home, or better still, put them on your pub and bar menus to sell in your bars. Cocktail fans, welcome back to the Drinkstuff YouTube channel. We are your one-stop shop for all your cocktail needs, except for the booze. My name is Steve the Barman, and I'm just purely here for your fun cocktail inspiration to help you on your cocktail journey. Right, for the tiny minority of you that don't know how to make the woo-woo, let me show you. It's really simple, really easy. There are a few different sort of ratios flying about the old interwebs. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you this is the right or wrong recipe. You go for your lives. I've always done equal amounts of vodka to Archer's peach schnapps or Archer's liqueur, whatever you want, peach liqueur, whatever you want to use, but Archer's. It's easy to get in it at all your supermarkets. I've always done equal amounts, vodka, that, and then topped up with cranberry juice and a wedge of lime. So I'm going to do 30 mils in here because I've got my US jigger in there. So 30 mil of vodka, 30 mil of Archer's, and then we're just going to top up with cranberry juice and a little bit of lime. However, some of the recipes I see around the old interwebs, they do kind of go vodka heavy because I think they like to be a bit ego-tenderish and don't like too much of a sweet thing. So they kind of go heavy on the vodka, less on the old Archers. But it's up to you. You know, don't let anyone tell you how to make a woo-woo. It's just vodka and Archers, cranberry juice. And I would recommend a squeeze of lime just to kind of cut through the kind of tartness. That's what you want. Give it a quick little stir, and that is as simple and as easy as the woo-woo needs to be. Now look, let's be honest. That's never going to win Cocktail of the Year. It's never going to win a cocktail competition, but it's fun, it's fruity, it's easy to drink. It's the awesome party cocktail. You can just make it so quick and easy. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But regular followers to mine, loyal followers of mine, will know that I kind of have this aversion. I like that's a posh word, isn't it? Aversion to kind of dull, lifeless kind of cocktails there. So what I like to do with my woo-woos, especially if like in the past when I have done parties, I kind of like to shake them up. I kind of like to add four drops of foamers, something like that. Shake up, 4 drops of foamers, exactly the same recipe, and then you get this. You get that kind of vibe, and that will settle, you know, look at that, that's nearly perfect. That'll kind of settle, and it'll kind of go up, and you'll have this nice, white, frothy head on top. And I just think that makes that woo-woo look 10 times better. It'll taste the same, it might just have a little touch of foam about it. It'll taste virtually the same, but I just think, you know, that looks better than that. And give it 5 minutes through this video, you'll kind of see that settling. Probably in a couple of minutes, to be fair, you'll kind of see the difference. All right, so let's get on to the whole STB treatment. Where do we go for inspiration for fun riffs, easy riffs on that cocktail? But a very obvious place to start. The first place to start is obviously with your vodka. You know, I'm not going to preach to you about brands. You know, there are 101 different brands out there, each with their own different flavors, whether you're going JJ Whitley, Absolute, Finlandia, Wildcat in a lot of the supermarkets these days, Vladivar, Smirnoff, whatever floats your little boat. I've got some Smirnoff Raspberry at home for hen pies. Smirnoff Raspberry in that would work an absolute treat. Go for your life. Simply flip out that flavoured vodka, your plain vodka for a flavoured vodka. You've got a whole different fun woo-woo there. So easy in it, really, you know, the world's your oyster when it comes to flavoured vodkas. But look, spirit brands aside, let's get on to what we do best at Drinkstuff, and that's like talk about our favourite syrups and purees. So I've actually got 10, but focused on 5 basic flavour riffs, but I've got 10 different variations coming up for you. I'm going to show you how to make the first one, but then I'll just talk you through the others, so not to take up too much more of your time, but just cast your eyes to that. You can see that that is properly settled now. Which one of those two do you like best? so far. You know, to serve up, which one is going to be that wow factor if you're in a pub or bar? Simply 4 drops of foamers. That's all it is. Now, before I go any further, can I just ask you a quick favour, please? If you like this video, then like it, smash that like button, because that really helps us grow this channel and put these videos in front of more cocktail fans. So then the first riff that I ever saw, the first riff on a Woo Woo that kind of blew me away. It was like, oh, we can do that with Woo Woos. It never entered my head. Probably early 2010s, 2011s, round about that time, was the Strawberry Woo Woo. All right, so that's the only kind of strawberry puree in a sense I have here. We sell Funkin', we've got Monin, strawberry puree, we've got strawberry syrups as well, Monin strawberry syrups, William Fox strawberry syrups, ODK, but I'm gonna do this with the ODK. So what I've got, I've just got my cocktail shaker there, because I'm going to shake it. I think you do need to kind of shake the purees down. I'm just going to do that. So I've got my vodka, I've got my Archers, I've got my cranberry juice in there. I will definitely add a squeeze of lime, because we're adding more sweetness to this cocktail. And I think you kind of need that lime in there anyway. But we are adding actually more sweetness in there. So I've already got 1 squeeze of lime in there. I'm actually going to add a 2nd squeeze of lime in there. We don't want it, you know, you don't want it too citrusy, but you need a little bit just to kind of balance that out. Now, for this, I'm going to eyeball. I'm not going to dirty up a cocktail shaker, but I'm just going to do a jigger. But I'm just going to eyeball sort of like 15 ml of strawberry puree in there. Now, if you shook that up and served that, you've essentially got a strawberry Woo Woo. Simple, right? Easy. But I promised you extra riffs, extra variations on top of that. So I've given you the strawberry Woo Woo. How to make this even better? Strawberry and vanilla. Now, you could obviously, he says, if we can open it, you could obviously go vanilla vodka for this. So you could go vanilla vodka, your Archers, your cranberry juice, and then your strawberry. But if you've got vanilla syrup lying around for your porn star martinis, I'm just literally going to do 5 ml in there. 5 ml of vanilla, and that's quite punchy, the ODK one. But again, we've got Monin, we've got William Fox, any kind of vanilla syrup that floats your little boat. And now you've got a strawberry and vanilla Woo Woo. So I'm just going to shake that up. There's no foamers in here. And then I'm just going to simply strain that over ice. The puree gives it a little bit of extra texture. But as you can see, there's no foamers in there to kind of give it that layer of froth. You can add foamers if you want. Be my guest. And then we're just going to garnish it up with another wedge of lime. But there, a strawberry and vanilla Woo Woo. Simply adding that sort of 15 ml of strawberry puree, 5 ml of vanilla syrup, an extra touch of lime. That will just balance that out beautifully. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. The extra sweetness is in there, but you don't forget that cranberry juice is quite tart anyway. I really love that. Strawberry with vanilla Woo Woos. So now you get the idea how to riff it up. Obviously, just adding the syrups. Let me take you through my other 4 main flavours, but don't forget I've got 8 more coming up because I'm doing double sort of flavours like that, so like the strawberry and vanilla. So let's get into it. The first one I'm going to do for you, and I know this is going to work, an absolute treat. We're going for William Fox's Cherry Blossom, because I know cherry and cranberry works really, really well. The blossom just gives it that more sort of floral vibes to a cherry syrup, but you could use ODK, you could use Monin cherry syrups, of course you can. I would go the heavy emphasis on that. I would do the 15 ml of the cherry. So you've got a cherry kind of Woo Woo. That was the second, I think Revolution at vodka bars, I think they kind of championed the cherry Woo Woo. I think that was on their menus for ages. But I kind of like the cherry blossom. And so it just gives it that more sort of delicate. But, so you've got a cherry Woo Woo to start off with. However, to take that into a different dimension, we know what's the big kind of flavour. What's that big town or that little town I should say, in Derbyshire with their little cakes that everyone loves, and you turn it into a cocktail and everyone just goes nuts for it? Bakewell, isn't it? It's the cherry Bakewell or the Bakewell tart. To kind of replicate this, that you've got the cranberry juice, you've got the cherry in there, just to add that little kind of little vibe that you want. You can kind of use almond syrup, or I've got I've got William Fox's orgeat syrup there. The only difference really between those two is the orgeat has got a little bit of orange blossom water in it too. But essentially they're both almond syrups. But that is kind of like a proper orgeat, if you like. So cherry and almond, you kind of make it into a Bakewell Woo Woo. Bakewell Woo Woo. I can't even say it. A Bakewell Woo Woo. How do you like that? Really fun, really easy. Now the next flavour I know is going to work so well with this because it's kind of a spritz kind of flavour that I know works exceptionally well, and that is watermelon. I know that watermelon with cranberry, with peach, just is a match made in heaven. So you could go for an out and out watermelon woo woo. It's just going to be delicious. Again, we've got Monin syrup and we've got, I say we've got it, it's mine at home, but we've ODK range of purees do a watermelon puree as well. Not sure about Monin, no, I know Monin don't, but Monin have got the syrup. But watermelon in there, 15 ml of that, straight into that, an extra wedge of lime, jobs are good. But the extra dimension that I'm going to add to that, for me, one of those little flavours that I love rocking out with watermelon, chili syrup. I would do 15 ml of watermelon, 5 ml of cherry of chili. That's quite feisty in its own right. You could use a chili liqueur if you wanted to. You could just whack a chili slice of chili in half and just drop it into your drink if you wanted to, if you didn't want a chili syrup. But watermelon and chili. How's that for a woo-woo? Watermelon and chili woo-woos. Then for your fourth main flavour variation, the obvious flavour, I've kind of already mentioned it to be fair, but the obvious flavour that is going to work so well in there, because actually my favourite type of cranberry juice is cranberry and raspberry juice, which again is another riff in its own right, but raspberry puree, raspberry syrup, raspberry, whatever, fresh raspberries in there, 3 or 4 fresh raspberries. A raspberry woo woo we know is just going to work a treat. Again, Monin, William Fox, I've got the ODK one here. Whichever syrup you have got, 15 ml of that in there, you've got a raspberry woo woo, which I guarantee at 100% is going to work. Raspberry and cranberry, it just works a treat. But the combo, the combination, the kind of part 2 of this, I promise you, I've tried this. I've actually done this on a few hen parties, like pre-COVID, and I know this works a treat. Elderflower. Raspberry and elderflower in there, exactly the same thing. And remember, this the ODK elderflower really does punch of flavour. 5 ml of this goes a very, very long way. 15 ml of this overtakes your whole cocktail. So yes, while I say some of the ODK syrups are actually a little bit more expensive than Monin and William Fox, the bottle effectively goes a long way. So do the maths, do the calculations, all right? I know 5 ml of that is going to work, but Monin sell it, William Fox sell it. You can get bottle green if you like, or whichever Beaver bottle green from your supermarkets. The syrups are better. They are better. They do punch more of flavour, and they're less synthetic. So I'm always going to go those as opposed to like the bottle greens. But I promise you, raspberry and elderflower woo-woos, next level. And then the final variation that I want to throw a nod to, I'm going to pick out this rhubarb. Monin's rhubarb. I flipping love this puree. That is absolutely delicious. Again, 15 ml in there. Rhubarb woo woos. God, that's a tongue twister. Why can't I say woo woo? Rhubarb woo woos. There we go. Woo woos. Rhubarb woo woos. Honestly, next level. But the flavour extension to this, what's the obvious combo that goes with rhubarb that we know is going to work with cranberry? The obvious one, it's just ginger in it, of course. Monin sell it. William Fox sell it. The ODK syrup, ginger syrup, is feisty as anything. Again, that is another 5 ml job. This slightly more, 10 ml maybe, just kind of balance out with the puree in there. But I promise you, that is absolutely amazing. Dive down in the comments below. Let me know which flavour variation you would like to rock out the most out of those 5 that I've just given you, or 10 I should say that I've given you. Or if you've got any other flavour variations, again, pop them in the comments below.